Hey friend, you hungry? Well, I got this quick and easy 3 sauce wing platter that I want to show you guys how to make with some homemade onion rings. And you know we can't forget about the dip. So let's go ahead and get into how I put all this stuff together and how you can make it too. Now, I don't know about you, but I am obsessed with blue cheese, okay? So I'm gonna start off with 1 fresh pack of blue cheese crumbles, a pinch of salt, and some freshly ground black pepper. Right before I go ahead and squeeze in just a little bit of lemon juice to give us that little tang to it. So once I'm done with that, I'm just going to add a little bit of mayonnaise, just a spatula full, and also a spatula full of sour cream to maintain the thickness. Now, I do prefer my blue cheese dip on the chunkier side, but if you want to loosen it up, you can definitely go ahead and pour just a splash or a little bit more if you want of some cream. Now let's make some ranch dipping sauce. There's a couple of different ways that you can make your ranch dip, but based on my budget and my time, I always love to grab a few packets of these Hidden Valley Ranch dip mixes that are kind of pre-made, and you just go ahead and mix in your choice of cream base or whatever else you like to use. So for mine, I just splashed a little bit of lemon juice in there, some mayo and sour cream, and my favorite part is adding in that freshly ground black pepper for that little bite to it. Even though I rinse my chicken with a little bit of water and white wine vinegar, I still like to just add a little splash of lemon juice to my chicken wings, especially when I don't have a lot of time to brine it the way I like to get the flavor in there. So I'm just squeezing a little bit of lemon and lime juice to get rid of that filmy taste and scent. You know the one I'm talking about. Well, I hope you do. So right after I'm done with that, I'm just gonna sprinkle some fresh ground pepper, black pepper over my wings, and some paprika. Even though I'm breading my wings to make them crispy, I want each layer of my wing to have some flavor in there. So I've got my garlic powder, my onion powder, and I'm just going to get these flavors mixed up on the wings themselves before I get to my egg wash and my batter. And yes, I added some Slap Your Mama. My aunt shared this with us on Thanksgiving, and I haven't stopped using it ever since. Thanks, Auntie Jeannie. If you're curious about any of the flavors that I'm adding to anything I'm making here on the screen, all you got to do is scroll down to the description box, and I'll go ahead and list everything that I use for each step. That way you can make it and taste it for yourself. Now you can make your egg wash with an egg and some milk or some water. In this case, I was fresh out of milk, so I just went ahead and used the water method. It works just as good. And I've got that egg yolk in there mixed in with the water, and I'm just whipping it up until it gets nice and frothy. In the other bowl, I'm about to prep my flour just with a little bit of cornstarch, either cornstarch or baking powder, but both work wonders for fried items, most especially chicken. If you want a crispy crust or skin on whatever it is you frying, make sure to add those before you add anything else to your flour. I don't want my chicken to be too salty or over seasoned, so I'm going through and just packing in the flavors layer by layer. So I've got my first layer on my chicken. I'm just going to toss it around in my egg wash, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it into my pre-seasoned flour. I'm going to repeat these 3 steps for all of my chicken pieces and set it off to a side so that coat can set on it before I get it fried. I'm ready to prep my onion rings by taking my pre-rinsed in ice water and thick cut onion rings out of that cold water and tossing them into a seasoned egg wash just like I did for my chicken. And once I'm done coating all of my onion pieces, my rings, I'm gonna go ahead and toss it into a plate of seasoned flour. Same steps as the chicken. I find that rinsing with ice water not only turns my onion rings sweet, but it allows for whatever my coating is going to be to stick a lot closer to my onion rings. Now, even though I coated my onion rings with the first 3 steps, just like I did with my chicken, I'm about to go right back into that egg wash on top of that flour coat before I toss it around in some seasoned garlic and herb panko crumbs, just for that final crispy layer of flavor and crunch. Now that I've put my onion rings and chicken wings off to the side, I'm ready for some frying. I've heated my oil to about 345, 350, and I'm just tossing in a few wings at a time. Even though I'm tempted to hurry up and get this done, I know that the more wings I try to pack into this little pot, the colder my oil is going to get and the longer it's going to take for my chicken to fry. So I only throw in a few pieces at a time. Now, when I'm looking to see if my wings are ready to come out, I'm just going to check to see if they're floating. I'm going to check to see how golden that coat looks on it. And if you have a thermometer for cooking, you can go ahead and check for a degree of about 165 Fahrenheit, just to make sure that your meat is ready on the inside as well. Okay, I think my onion rings started to get a little jealous, so I'm just gonna grab those once my chicken is done frying and toss them in as well. So we're just gonna wait for these to get nice and golden brown and start floating to the top, and they won't take as long as the chicken to get done in this oil. All right, my rings have been frying for a little over 3 minutes or so. They look nice and golden on the outside, so I think they're ready to come out so we can get started on these sauces. Our first sauce up for the night is going to be our sweet heat chili. I have melted down 2 tablespoons of butter in a small saucepan, and I'm going to start off by adding a few of my favorite Asian spices and flavorings. The first one being this hot chili oil with the pepper flakes in it. I eat all of my favorite dishes with this stuff. Now, if you're not crazy about heat, go ahead and use a lot less than you saw me add in there. But we like our wings spicy on this side. So I'm just going to add some chopped up garlic right after that chili oil and just stir it all together. Next, I'm ready to add in my tablespoon of sesame oil and my 2 tablespoons of honey. I'm finishing the sauce off with a dash of rice wine vinegar off camera and also a couple dashes of soy sauce. Now, if you really want to kick it up, you can add ginger, some green onions, and really give it that authentic Asian flavor. Now for my favorite flavor of wing, the garlic parmesan. So I'm going to take another tablespoon and a half or two of butter, melt it down in that same saucepan before adding in my chopped up garlic, and sprinkle some black pepper on top of there to get our flavors going. So once the sauce is done cooking down, I'm just going to add some dried herbs and hold off on putting my parmesan on top of the wings instead of the sauce because I don't want melty cheese in my wing sauce. All right, this one might be the easiest one yet. I'm just melting down some butter like my first two sauces, and I threw a little bit of the leftover garlic in there just to punch it up right before adding maybe half of a tablespoon of Old Bay. Now if you want to jazz this up, I have seen people add a tablespoon of honey just to sweeten it and give it a glaze. But now let's check out these wings. We've got our sweet heat chili, our garlic parmesan where I sprinkled some shaved parmesan all over that bad boy with some herbs, and we've got our crispy Old Bay wings and onion rings. So check this out, y'all. Let me know in the comments below if you would try any of these items out. And for my onion ring lovers, let me know if you're like me. Do you like dipping your onion rings in ketchup or ranch? Thank you, as always, for clicking play, y'all. And I will see you guys next time with another recipe. Same place. Peace out.